Good morning, and welcome to the show for Sunday, June 21st, 2026.
We are so glad you could join us to start your day.
Looking outside here in Parker, Colorado, it's currently 58 degrees and we have perfectly clear skies, with a high of 86 expected later today. We have a massive show lined up for you, covering everything from a historic global peace deal to a daring rescue mission in space.
Plus, we'll tell you why your next smartphone might cost a lot more than you expected.
All right, let's talk US news, starting with the box office, where nostalgia is absolutely dominating the weekend.
It really is, and the numbers are staggering.
Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 is projected to pull in $160 million during its opening weekend.
That is a massive haul.
It's setting up to be the biggest box office debut of 2026 so far.
What does that mean for us as moviegoers?
It means studios are going to keep leaning heavily on established, long-running animation franchises rather than taking risks on new intellectual property.
You really can't argue with the commercial success, even if some critics thought the series ended perfectly 2 movies ago.
Exactly. The enduring power of Woody and Buzz is just undeniable at this point.
It definitely proves families will still show up to theaters for guaranteed, familiar crowd pleasers.
And the merchandising alone will probably double that opening weekend revenue for Disney.
Oh, absolutely. The toy aisles are about to be completely restocked for a new generation.
Moving on to some sad news from the entertainment world.
We lost an absolute giant of television comedy this weekend.
Legendary TV director James Burrows has died at the age of 85.
The tributes from stars of Friends and Will and Grace have been pouring in all morning.
It's hard to overstate just how much he shaped modern American comedy television.
He really pioneered the landscape for decades, didn't he?
He did, directing iconic episodes of Cheers, Taxi, Frasier, and so many others.
His ability to find the core comedic dynamic between ensemble cast members was completely unmatched.
What does that mean for us looking back at his legacy?
It means almost every multicam sitcom you've loved over the last 40 years has his fingerprints on it.
It's a huge loss, but what an incredible body of work he leaves behind to be enjoyed for generations.
Truly one of the greatest talents to ever work behind the camera.
Shifting gears to college sports, the College World Series finals kicked off with a very dominant performance.
Oklahoma really came out swinging against North Carolina.
They did, taking Game 1 with a decisive 9-3 victory over the Tar Heels.
That puts North Carolina at a serious disadvantage right out of the gate.
Exactly. Since it's a best-of-3 championship series, their backs are now firmly against the wall.
They'll have to win 2 straight games to take the title, which is a tall order against this Oklahoma squad.
It's a tough spot, but we've seen crazier comebacks in Omaha before.
Oklahoma's pitching just looked too dialed in during this opener, though.
We'll see if the Tar Heels can make the necessary adjustments at the plate for Game 2.
They definitely need to find an answer for Oklahoma's relentless offense if they want to keep their season alive.
Over in the Octagon, UFC Vegas 119 delivered some major redemption last night.
Manel Cape finally got his revenge against Kyoji Horiguchi.
He really blasted him, avenging a loss that has haunted his record since 2017.
That was a highly anticipated rematch, and Cape made his victory look incredibly decisive.
This win significantly elevates Cape's standing in the highly competitive flyweight division.
What does that mean for us as fans following the weight class?
It likely puts him right in the mix for a title eliminator bout next.
He looked sharper, faster, and much more aggressive than he did in their first meeting 9 years ago.
9 years is a long time to wait for payback, but he capitalized perfectly when the cage door closed.
It really shakes up the top 5 rankings moving forward.
On the golf course, Wyndham Clark is trying to turn the U.S. Open into an absolute runaway.
He has built a really commanding lead heading into the final stretch today.
He has, but top-ranked Scottie Scheffler is still lingering in contention just a few strokes back.
Scheffler always seems to have hope for a slam, no matter the deficit he faces on Sunday.
The final holes this afternoon will determine if Clark can secure this major victory.
Or if Scheffler can mount one of his trademark, methodical Sunday comebacks.
Clark's putting has been incredible all week, but the pressure of closing out a major is a completely different beast.
Right, we've seen massive leads evaporate quickly on this unforgiving course.
It's going to be a fantastic finish to watch, with the entire golf world tuning in.
I wouldn't count Scheffler out until the final putt actually drops.
And in international soccer, Japan is making a massive statement in their 2026 World Cup qualifying group.
They absolutely dominated Tunisia on the pitch.
Japan started fast and finished strong, led by an absolute masterclass from Iesu Ueda.
He paired 2 brilliant goals with an assist in what was just a relentless offensive performance.
This win positions Japan incredibly favorably in their qualification group stage.
They look like a cohesive team that could make a very deep run when the actual tournament starts later this year.
The tactical discipline they showed against a tough, physical Tunisian side was really impressive.
It sends a very clear warning to the rest of their qualifying group.
Absolutely, they are not dropping points easily during this cycle.
It's great momentum for them as they head into the next international break.
Next up, let's dive into global news.
There is a historic diplomatic breakthrough taking shape this morning.
The US and Iran have officially signed a peace agreement aimed at ending their long-standing conflict.
That is monumental news for international relations and global stability.
It is, and a massive part of this deal involves reopening the critical Strait of Hormuz shipping corridor.
What does that mean for us at home, especially at the gas pump?
It's expected to significantly ease global energy prices and stabilize international markets almost immediately.
Because so much of the world's oil and liquid natural gas passes through that specific, narrow strait.
Exactly, and to solidify this progress, Vice President J.D. Vance and Iranian officials have arrived at a Swiss resort today.
They are launching top-level talks specifically focused on Tehran's nuclear program now.
The strategic maritime security and the Strait of Hormuz were step one, but these nuclear negotiations are the high-stakes pivot.
It really represents a pivotal moment for international non-proliferation efforts.
If they can de-escalate these geopolitical tensions permanently, it reshapes the entire Middle East dynamic.
I imagine the global markets will be reacting very positively to this development when they open tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in Europe, authorities in the Netherlands just executed a massive cybersecurity crackdown.
They seized 800 servers and arrested 2 hosting company co-owners.
These weren't just any servers, they were being actively used by Russia to conduct cyber attacks.
And to run massive disinformation campaigns across the continent.
This operation disrupts a major piece of technical infrastructure utilized for state-sponsored influence operations.
It's a huge, tangible win for European Union security forces.
The servers were essentially a staging ground for coordinated digital strikes and fake news deployment.
Taking down 800 of them at once has to be a massive logistical blow to those Russian intelligence operations.
It definitely forces those threat actors to rebuild their networks from scratch, costing them time and resources.
Hopefully, it slows down the spread of state-sponsored disinformation in the region as elections approach.
Moving on to updates from India and Tamil Nadu.
We have some very tragic news out of Tiruvallur this morning.
A major ammonia gas leak at a private seafood processing unit has turned deadly.
It's a horrific situation, with reports confirming that 7 female workers have been killed by the toxic fumes.
Over 60 other employees had to be rushed to the hospital in an urgent emergency medical response.
Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has already stepped in to address the growing crisis.
Yes, he has ordered a formal, high-level probe into the industrial safety standards at the facility.
It's just devastating for those families, and it raises serious questions about workplace regulations and chemical handling.
Also in India, the race for satellite internet dominance is heating up rapidly.
Jio Platforms is making a very aggressive move ahead of its highly anticipated IPO.
They are planning to lease broadband capacity from existing satellite constellations right now.
That's a strategic way to jumpstart their own sovereign low Earth orbit network before their hardware is fully deployed.
It really intensifies the competition in India's massive telecom market against players like Starlink.
They clearly want to establish a dominant foothold before their public offering goes live.
Next up, markets and finance.
The crypto world is dealing with a very ironic, multi-million-dollar heist today.
Ethereum's biggest sandwich bot, famously known as Jared from Subway.eth, just got drained of $7.5 million.
Wow, an attacker actually managed to exploit the bot's own automated trading logic against it.
Exactly, these sandwich bots usually make money by front-running and back-running other people's trades on decentralized exchanges.
So the apex predator of the crypto ecosystem essentially became the prey here.
It's a perfect example of the persistent vulnerabilities within automated maximal extractable value, or MEV, trading systems.
What does that mean for us if we trade cryptocurrency?
It means even the most sophisticated, automated systems designed to extract profit are highly vulnerable to clever code manipulation.
It's almost poetic justice considering how much retail traders absolutely despise sandwich bots for skimming their trades.
It really is, though the sheer scale of the $7.5 million loss is staggering for a single automated exploit.
Definitely a harsh wake-up call for anyone relying entirely on automated smart contracts to protect their funds.
In other crypto regulatory news, the exchange Whitebit has secured a MiCA license in Austria.
They managed to get that authorization just ahead of the European Union's strict July 1st regulatory deadline.
This allows them to legally continue serving clients across the unified EU market without any interruption to their services.
Turning to traditional finance, there is a stark warning over the UK's fragile public finances today.
Public borrowing in the UK just rose to £23.3 billion in May.
That number exceeded official government forecasts by a massive £5.6 billion.
The surge really highlights the ongoing pressure of high public spending and broader economic struggles across the nation.
And we're getting a much clearer picture of what's driving some of that underlying economic weakness.
A new, comprehensive study of Bank of England company data suggests Brexit has cost the UK economy 6% of its potential GDP.
That is a staggering figure when you look at the long-term financial impact of leaving the European Union.
It provides a very concrete economic assessment of a political decision that has been fiercely debated for years.
It shows the structural friction introduced into their trade networks and labor markets is taking a heavy measurable toll.
And amid all this economic data, the Bank of England has decided to hold interest rates steady at 3.75%.
Policymakers cited ongoing concerns over high energy prices as the primary reason for keeping borrowing costs unchanged.
That makes it the fourth consecutive meeting where they've paused rate hikes, waiting for inflation to fully stabilize.
Finally, in markets, Apple is preparing to raise product prices across the board.
This is directly tied to a massive surge in the cost of memory chips.
The AI boom is driving up demand for these components so rapidly that global suppliers are hiking their costs.
What does that mean for us when we go to buy a new phone or laptop this fall?
It means the rising demand for artificial intelligence hardware is going to hit your wallet directly at the checkout counter.
Apple usually tries to absorb supply chain fluctuations, but this spike in memory costs is apparently too large to ignore.
So if you're holding out for the next generation of devices, you should definitely expect a higher price tag.
It's the hidden consumer cost of putting neural engines and advanced AI assistants into every single gadget we own.
Right. All that local processing power requires high-end, expensive memory to function properly.
Let's round out the show with tech and AI.
We have to start with a very concerning security breach involving social media and the government.
Hackers have managed to seize high-profile U.S. government Instagram accounts.
And the way they did it is wild. They manipulated Meta's AI support assistant into resetting the account passwords.
They essentially socially engineered an automated AI bot instead of a human customer service rep.
Exactly. They defaced these government accounts by tricking the AI into handing over full access.
What does that mean for us and our own personal account security?
It highlights a critical vulnerability where AI agents can easily bypass traditional security protocols if they are confused by bad actors.
It's terrifying that an AI designed for helpful customer support can be manipulated into giving away the keys to the castle.
Companies are rushing to deploy these bots to save money, but clearly, the guardrails are failing under targeted pressure.
Speaking of giving away the keys, U.S. lawmakers are demanding immediate answers from CISA today.
A contractor accidentally leaked highly privileged AWS GovCloud keys on a public GitHub repository.
Along with internal agency secrets, which is an absolute nightmare scenario for federal cloud infrastructure.
CISO is currently struggling to contain the exposure and figure out exactly what data was accessed by unauthorized users.
You would expect the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency to have much better protocols for their third-party contractors.
You really would, and that's exactly why lawmakers are dragging agency heads in for questioning this week.
A public GitHub repo is literally the last place government cloud keys should ever end up.
We also have a critical, ticking clock for Windows and Linux users regarding core system security.
There is a fast-approaching deadline to update expiring cryptographic keys on your motherboards.
These keys protect systems against firmware-level UEFI infections.
And if users fail to apply these updates before June 24th, the consequences could be severe.
Devices could be left vulnerable to highly persistent malware that loads before the operating system even boots up.
That kind of malware is nearly impossible for standard antivirus software to detect, let alone remove.
Exactly, so if your system is prompting you for a firmware or BIOS update this week, do not ignore it.
It's definitely one of those silent, behind-the-scenes updates that is absolutely vital for your digital safety.
Let's look to the stars for our final stories, where NASA is executing a daring rescue plan.
A critical space telescope is currently falling out of space, and its orbit is decaying much faster than anticipated.
No one thought a rescue was going to be possible, but NASA has put together a brilliant last-minute mission to save it.
If they pull this off, it will prevent the multi-billion-dollar instrument from burning up in the Earth's atmosphere.
And it would extend its valuable astronomical observations for years to come.
It's like something straight out of a Hollywood sci-fi movie, happening right above our heads.
Meanwhile, SpaceX is scheduled to launch its Starfall demonstration mission this coming Tuesday.
They are testing a brand new, disc-shaped capsule design specifically for orbital manufacturing.
This flight is a key step towards scaling commercial production and heavy industrial operations in microgravity.
The idea of operating massive factories in space is moving from concept to reality very quickly.
But SpaceX isn't getting every single NASA contract these days.
Right, NASA just selected a different private aerospace firm to build and launch its next Mars orbiter in 2028.
This decision highlights a deliberate strategy by NASA to diversify its commercial partners for deep space exploration.
It's incredibly healthy for the industry to have multiple players capable of reaching Mars, rather than relying on a monopoly.
And finally, the James Webb Space Telescope has done it again.
It captured incredibly detailed images of an abnormally well-developed ancient galaxy cluster.
These observations are challenging our existing models of early cosmic evolution.
It's opening up entirely new research frontiers into what astronomers call the cosmic noon era.
Every time we look through that telescope, the history of the universe gets a little more complicated and a lot more beautiful.
And that brings us to the end of today's show. If there's a theme for today, it's that whether it's an AI support bot, a multi-million-dollar crypto contract, or a federal cloud server, the systems we rely on are only as secure as the human logic behind them.
So true, we always have to stay vigilant. Thanks for starting your morning with us, everyone. We'll catch you back here tomorrow.